It is in the human condition, isn't it, to express yourself, to show there's more to you than work. And it was never easy for mining communities to just express themselves in the way they wanted. So as musical instruments get more sophisticated and you get mass-produced musical instruments, working class men can afford to buy them. And of course, some of the companies, some of the mills, some of the collieries knew there was good publicity to be had in a good brass band. Some of these bands are by subscription with the men, some of them are paid for by the company, some are a mix. After 1920 you get something called the Coal Industry Welfare Organisation, CISWO. They produce the best clubhouses in the northeast. So from the early 20th century you get high quality instruments, high quality musicians, and this competitive spirit and this love of the marching beat.
We all love Gala Day. You know, it's just a really nice day. There'll be about 50 or 60 bands come together, and it's just a really good day out. I think for a brass band, it's just you get to play your music too, and everybody appreciates what you play. It's the tradition, you know, the fact that you know that you are doing the same thing that they've been doing for the last 100 and odd years. And even though there's no collieries anymore, that a lot of bands are still associated with collieries, and it's the tradition that them.
There's two things they're showing. One thing is the main mast, the main sail. That is the banner. And the banner stands for the village, it stands for the pit, it stands for the community. But this isn't just a flag. This is a labour movement. It's got to move. And when you've got the banner and you've got the band at the front, often playing a military air, a good marching step, you get the sense that this is something on the move. We're moving forward. This is a band in step. So you can't but respond to that. It's quite a beautiful thing, actually, especially if the people marching with you are comrades and friends.
It's a bit like having a second family. You've got everybody from like 12 years old up to 70 in our band, and so it's like having mums and dads and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and cousins. And like Glenys has been in the band since she was 7, and she was just basically presented with a cornet, and there you go, off you go.
There's no rivalry. I think we rely on each other for support. For example, I think it was 2 years ago we didn't have a brass band to take our banner in, and it was through having a drink with some of the guys from the other banner groups. They said, we've got contacts in Yorkshire. We can put you in touch with brass bands down there who want to come. So that's our highlight, to play in front of the Royal County Hotel balcony. That's a very popular area on the route down to the gala, where most of the people stand to enjoy the brass bands.
It's not just marching. It has what we came to call soul. It's a kind of the first soul music in this country, because there's a kind of elegiac quality to a brass band when it's going slow, a hymnal quality. And some of the most beautiful tunes to express sorrow and death, of course, which mining communities knew only too well, came out the brass band movement. A particular song, I don't know if you know it, it's called Gresford, written by Robert Saint, who was a heaven man, in 1934 to commemorate the 265 men who were killed at Gresford Colliery, North Wales in 1934. And that piece of music was played every year outside the County Hotel in Durham for any pit that had lost a man. The band would stop, the lodge would stop, the banner would stop, and they would play Gresford.
We play in Durham Cathedral, and that's just fabulous. There's usually anywhere between sort of 3 and 5 bands go in, and it's the banners that are chosen, and the band that's associated with that banner goes in with it. And you walk into a very slow, solemn march, and you play for the hymns, and the cathedral is packed, absolutely packed with people. And then when you walk out, the bands march out to something really rousing, and everybody claps and claps along with the music, and you have the dean, you know, everybody from the cathedral. It's lovely, it's really nice. And the sound in the cathedral is amazing.
The amazing thing about brass bands and industrial Britain is the industries have gone, but in many cases the bands have stayed. It was men and women in places like this.